What is up, guys? I just got back from vacation from Florida, so I am here finally making my Interstellar video. Now, I've seen this film actually in the past week and a half 3 times. I watched it twice at home because I just wanted to talk about this film, and I had it all planned. And then on the flight, I actually got a chance to watch it again. So I'm all polished up on this film, and I'm ready to talk about it. So Interstellar, obviously it's a masterpiece, but let's talk about Interstellar in 2023. Interstellar is directed by Christopher Nolan. It stars Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Casey Affleck, Jessica Chastain, and Michael Caine. Let's talk about the brief synopsis of this film real quick. Earth's future has been riddled by disasters and droughts. There is only one way to ensure mankind's survival: interstellar travel. A newly discovered wormhole in the far reaches of our solar system allows a team of astronauts to go where no man has gone before, a planet that may have the right environment to sustain human life. That is a brief synopsis off of IMDb. First time I've ever watched Interstellar. I remember I actually never went to theaters to go see Interstellar. I watched it at home. I believe it was on Thanksgiving or Easter, maybe Easter, because I think it came out on Blu-ray then. First time I watched it, I was younger. It came out in 2014, and that's almost wow, 9 years ago, and I thought it was always boring, and I could never really understand it. But then, as time went on, I remember picking up the Blu-ray. I'm like, I'm a fan of Nolan, so let me give this another try. Maybe a couple years later, and I would say ever since that moment, I've seen this film over 40 times. Every single time that I rewatch this film, I pick up on something new that I find interesting, and it's truly remarkable. It really is. Guys, the writing in Interstellar is truly magical. It's not only is it interesting seeing the cause of food dying out on Earth due to dust and disasters, but to the space exploration aspect of the film, going through the wormhole into a new galaxy. The film is packed with all moments like this, incredible moments that lead into incredible emotions, mainly coming from Coop and his daughter Murph, and from their bond together on Earth carries into the space exploration mission itself. And you can see that little aspect of their bond keeps going as the film progresses, keeps going, and as it keeps going, you root for Coop to get back home and see his daughter and his family. And we obviously know that one planet they go to, Waves, that planet, I call it the Wave Planet. In the beginning, the first one they went to go see, I forgot, it was the girl astronaut they were trying to find out, but they realized that she died minutes ago as they got there almost years later. But it's crazy because 7 years on Earth take place every hour on this planet. So as Coop gets back to the space, I forgot what it was called, but once he gets back up there, all the messages from Tars and Case, the 2 cool robot marine guys, which is pretty cool. There's 20 years worth of messages stored on there, and he says play it through the beginning. This whole sequence is very beautiful, but it's also it's got a horror and depressing moment to it. Just seeing the expressions on Coop's face, seeing his kids grow up, mainly his son Tom, and then he finally gets to see Murph later on, because the Murph would never want him or didn't want him to leave and begged him to stay. That word stay is a big influence on the whole film up and towards the end of the film. And then we see him go to the ice planet. We see Dr. Mann, played by Matt Damon, and we see that he was basically a coward the whole time along, pretending that this planet was safe, but then it ended up not being safe at all, and there was nothing there. And then we see the consequences of that, and they end up screwing up the mission even more, to the point where Coop can't even get back home anymore. These things, that's why I say this film's got action. It's got a really good story, but that emotion to the film is something that I think is maybe overlooked, but it's also very unique of how Nolan handled it in this film. And I would say it leads to a phenomenal sequence of Coop going through the black hole or the wormhole, traveling through dimensions to communicate with his daughter Murph, which was really special but emotional as well. And we see the film ending with Coop being at the same age, and with Dr. Brandt going on Edmund's planet, knowing that it's actually safe to breathe there, so that's where they're planning on Plan A, which, if you guys remember, Plan A was to get everybody from planet Earth off the planet and move to a new planet. Plan B was to population bomb. But that's when we see that Plan A was going to work overall, and we see Coop meet up with his daughter who's on her deathbed, which also was very emotional too. And like, she tells him to go away because she doesn't think that her father should watch her die, being her daughter. And then we see that Coop ends up going out to the darkness to go find Dr. Brandt, Anne Hathaway's character. I basically just gave you a true spoiler synopsis of this film, but truly it is unique from any style portion of writing, whether it's the dialogue, whether it's the direction that they're on planet Earth, how these dust storms work, how there's no army anymore. These unique little concepts are just great. If I had a very minor nitpick, it would just be that I wish we would have spent a little bit more time on Earth. I thought that was a little bit unique, and I wanted to see a little bit more of that. Performances in this film has a great supporting cast, but Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, Michael Caine, and the girl that plays Murph, Mackenzie Foy, are phenomenal in this film, and they're only elevated by a great supporting cast as well. In this film, they have all truly remarkable performances and moments that are packed with awesomeness, emotion, and even comedy and true love, especially with Coop, and whether it's Coop and Murph mainly. And I would argue that this may be my favorite Matthew McConaughey film of all time. I would say that, but I also gotta agree, this guy can't do no fucking wrong. He really can't. The visuals of Interstellar are amazing. We know Nolan is a practical effect lover. He loves his practical effects. So any way he can do anything practical, especially all the Earth sequences or any planet sequences on ground with actors there, he is doing them the best to his ability. I remember reading some of the behind the scenes of Interstellar when they were on the water planet, where they went into like this little shallow spot. I forgot where it was in the country, and then I think they did something. I think they went to Iceland or Greenland for the ice planet sequences, which I thought was really cool. So they really tried to set this up as stages that aren't a lot of CG, but obviously when you're traveling through space, you're going to be using CGI. They're not sending astronauts up there. I just have to say that the space sequences are handled so real and so beautifully, especially the wormhole or the black hole. This thing looks amazing. There is no complaints with it. The way that they intersect into it, and like, it's the color design, the look of it, the cinematography at that point. Cinematography through the whole film is phenomenal, but that look, it just a true massive standout. And oh boy, the score is composed by my boy Hans Zimmer, and this is definitely one of my top 5 favorite scores of all time. The score in this film has a horror / emotional element to it that makes it truly beautiful. Whether you're listening to the score or hearing the score Stay, or Coward, or Mountains, or Cornfield Chase, or No Time for Caution, these 6 scores, each score is completely different from each other, but all feel connected at the same point and have their unique strengths every time they are played throughout the film, or if you just listen to them in your earbuds, which are beautiful and calming to listen to. The score truly makes me feel something that it's hard to explain, but it speaks emotion. Guys, obviously Interstellar is a masterpiece. I love this film. I cannot believe that this came out almost 10 years ago. It's going on, I think 10 years, something like that. Maybe only 9. I forgot when it hit theaters, but the rewatchability with this film is great. I know people have complaints about the final act of the film, especially when Coop meets back up with his daughter who's older now. I get people have complaints. I don't have a complaint. I think it is beautiful. I think Nolan's true message was that love conquers all, and you can see that sprinkled throughout the film, and I think that was something completely different that Nolan hasn't ever done, and I thought he nailed with Jonathan Nolan. I just really really like this film. I want to see Nolan work with McConaughey again. I want to see Nolan maybe even do another space film down the line. I'm so hyped up for Oppenheimer. I cannot wait in July. At first I thought it got delayed, but no, it's still coming out. But I just gotta say that Interstellar is just truly a beautiful film. I have no complaints with it. It's got a great runtime of 2 hours and 29 minutes. It's got everything, like I said, great score, great writing, beautiful visuals and cinematography, and great performances. It really does. But guys, you've guaranteed my fan base or my audience here has seen Interstellar. What do you guys think about Interstellar? You guys agree with me that it's a masterpiece? Because I fucking do. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.